Hello, first graders. This is Ms. Hobson here to go over week 13 in our packets. And week 13 includes words with the magic E sound. Now, first, before we start, I'm going to go over the magic E and a few sight words before we start. And this isn't something that's in your packet, so just look at the screen with me as I go over this. First, let's look at some sight words that we should already know. And if you have forgotten any of these, have someone write them down for you. Practice writing them, make some cards for them. Anything to help you to practice these words because these are important to remember. Okay, when I click the word, you say it, and then I'll say it. And there was from the play like saw out must they that to see for of were down. And number 2, this is a 1B tricky word that we should be learning. And this word is every. EVERY. And what's special about this word, and what makes it tricky, is that it ends in a Y that makes the E sound. Every. Every. If you have a piece of paper, you can write it on. Practice writing it with me. Okay, let's look at section number 3 here. I'm going to point to the word, and you say the word on the first row. Ready? Go. Cat. Ham. Bat. Pan. Wag. Mad. What do you notice about all of these words on the first row? They all make the ah sound. Ah. That is the short A sound in each of these words. Ah. Now let's look at the second row. I'm going to read you all of these words. Cake. Face. Game. Cage. Tape. Snake. What do you notice about these words on the second row? Instead of saying ah, all of these A's say their name. A. Cake. Face. Game. Cage. Tape. Snake. And what else do you notice about all of these words? They all have an E at the end. But when I say these words, do they say the E sound? No, they don't. That's why this is the magic E. The magic E makes the A say its name. Now, this is something that some of us had been looking at before we got out of school, so you should be remembering the magic E, and that he is bossy, and that he makes the vowels say their name. Now, let's look at box number 4 here. We're going to look at the patterns we will see when working with the long vowel A with that silent magic E. Now, I noticed that there's an arrow pointing from the E to the A. This helps me to remember that when I see an E at the end of a word, it changes the vowel from its short sound. So instead of A, it's going to say its long sound. It's going to say its name, A. So it makes the vowel say its name, A. Now here I notice that there's an X over the E. This helps me to remember that when I see an E at the end of a word, it's going to usually be silent. It's not going to make a sound. Now let's look down at number 5. I want you to take a minute and look at each of these words before we say them. They all have the magic E. So each time the A is going to say its name. Now you take just a minute to look at these words and try to sound them out. Okay, now let's try together. We're going to look at the word and try to read the word. We will remember the rules of the pattern. If you see a silent E, I want you to make the A say its name. Snake. Remember, E isn't going to make a sound. Ape. Name. Cave. Eight. Lake. Came. Face. And here the C is making the S sound. Face. Same here. Place. Safe. Brave. Make. Now let's look back at our story. I'll give you a second to find this story in your week 13 packet. This story is called Tad is Sad. We're going to go over this story today and sound out these words. Now first, I've underlined every word that has a magic E inside. But let's look at some other tricky words. We know this word is look. When I add ing on the end, remember that always says ing. This word here is smash. But remember, ed on the end of a word is going to make it plural. So today I will smash the cake. Yesterday I smashed the cake. Now let's go over this story together. Tad was looking for his cake. There's your magic E. Was it in the bag? Oh no, the cake is smashed. Tad is sad. Can snake make Tad a new cake? Yes. Now I want you to practice reading this. And I want you to practice writing these magic E words that we talked about. You can pause this video and write these words down on a piece of paper and practice reading magic E words with the A sound inside. And you can also look at these pictures down here at the bottom and have someone help you spell them out. Some will have the short A sound, ah, and some will have the long A sound, A, with a magic E. Keep practicing, everybody.